How to set achievable 2026 goals for your practice or your clients. So I recently had this conversation with a practice owner. She was a lead interested to work with us, and the goal for the partnership with us for her was to achieve a diamond status for Invisalign within December, which was this month, so within a month. And this was basically impossible with her current numbers. So in the next few minutes, I'll show you the projections that I sent her, how we would set goals for our clients so that they're realistic and achievable and none of us leaves disappointed and grumpy, and then how to set achievable marketing goals for your practice in 2026 and how to dominate your competitors. Let's get into it. So before I started judging the email that she sent me and the goals that she had for the rest of December, and before I told her it was basically impossible, what I first did was I anchored her in the results that we have achieved in the past, the best ones. So these were from the region where she's from. They were different clients pretty close to her, same region, same demographic. And what I basically told her is that the best month for Invisalign that we've ever had in her region was 37 starts in a month. So before I started judging the goal that she sent me in her email and telling her that it was impossible, I firstly had to anchor her in real results that we've achieved with our clients in that specific region. So these two clients were very close to her, same demographic, same region. And the best month that we've ever achieved there was 37 Invisalign starts in the month. And the best day that we've ever achieved was 13 starts in a day. This was an Invisalign day event for a client that we've prepped for and marketed 1 month ahead of time. Her goal for December was to close 11 to 12 cases per day, every day. And we now go to why that was impossible. So when we first had our call with her, what she told us was that she was doing 3 to 4 cases per week currently. So that would mean 11 to 12 cases per month. And now what she was telling us that for our partnership, what she wanted to do in month 1 was to get to 11 to 12 cases per day in order for her to achieve the diamond status, which basically means 20xing her Invisalign starts from day 1. And that would be with the old brand, with the old website, with the old content, and with the old ads, with none of the systems that we use implemented. Before I started going into specific strategies and system that we would use to get her the diamond status, I wanted to talk about the state of the Invisalign market within her region. So what I discussed with her were the alternatives for Invisalign that popped up recently. OrthoFX, ClearCorrect, all of these made it harder to sell Invisalign in her region. But what I told her is that 1,000 off is something that almost all practices are already offering, and this doesn't move the needle anymore. Then what I told her is that you also need to show up through SEO and ads. You have to show up more often, and it has to be cheaper for you than your competitors. And when you do show up, your brand has to be on another level. It has to be completely different and stand out. Otherwise, potential patients are just gonna see you as the other office offering Invisalign and probably go for the cheapest alternative. The next thing was Delta patients. On the first call that we had, she mentioned that she does accept Delta insurance, but she told us that she would prefer if there were less patients from this insurer. The main thing in her region is that 60-70% of patients in that region do have Delta insurance. So if she completely wanted to avoid them, her Invisalign goals would be hard to meet. And we've seen that with other practices from that region. If you want to go big on Invisalign and you want to achieve a diamond status, Delta patients, especially at the beginning to get the momentum, were important for her. And then probably one of the most important things that I discussed with her was to also focus on new patients. So of course we can run, different events for Invisalign, like Invisalign Day. We can run Invisalign specific campaigns on all the platforms, Google, Meta. Another strategy these days is to book as many new patients as possible. And the reason is that people are so fed up with Invisalign ads and all these specialties, and it's much harder to sell patients on these big cases. It's much easier to entice them with your brand and get them in for a dental checkup. And when they come in as a new patient, they like you, they trust you, that's when Invisalign becomes a possibility if they need it. So with this in mind, I was ready to give her some calculations that were now anchored in our results from the past, the best results with clients that we had in her region, with the current state of the market, and how we would proceed to achieve her results. So after I showed her the best results we've achieved in the past with clients in her region with our systems, and after I showed her the realistic state of the Invisalign market and what we would have to do, I then proceeded into actual numbers. So in order to get the diamond Invisalign status, what you need is 150 closed cases every 6 months. It's always different for every practice and different regions, but this is a good standard that we can follow. So what that would mean is she would have to get from 12 cases every month that she's doing right now to 25 per month, which basically means doubling her Invisalign starts. So the ad budget that she would need to achieve these results and to double her Invisalign stars is something that we had from our current clients in that region as well. We've had several partnerships in that region and we've been running ads there for years. So we know that on average it costs us $200 to $300 to acquire a new patient. And this is way below the industry standard in that region where we know it costs $300 or more to acquire a new patient. But most of these practices that get patients for this number are general practices, but also with a mix of Invisalign and implants. So what I did tell her is to, just in case, usually acquiring an Invisalign patient is slightly more expensive. So just to be safe, what I told her is to prepare a budget of $3,000 to $5,000 to double her patients and achieve this number, which would mean that for the extra 13 patients, if we went all the way to $5,000, it would be, around $380 per patient per Invisalign. Every client that we work with, I always give them a range just so that they know what they can prepare for. But I always tell them that as soon as we launch the ads and we know how much they're costing specifically for them, then we can adjust the expectation. But I didn't want her to think that it would cost, $500 or $1,000 per month to double her Invisalign starts. And so after all this, after we showed her what the best results in that region were, what the Invisalign market is like right now and what it requires for her to double her Invisalign starts, and after we covered the ad budget and the numbers that we want to hit, then I went into the specific plan, our system and how we do things and how we can achieve these results. And I divided it into, two easy to understand phases. In the first phase, we would revamp her brand, her website, shoot new content, the whole system that we always implement that makes her show up more often and more cheaply than her competitors. And second, it makes her stand out and makes her brand exciting compared to the competitors. So in the phase one, that's what we would do. Within phase one, we would launch the ads and we would get her from 12 to 18 patients. And after phase one, after we showed her that we know what we're doing and we built trust and showed her ROI on the first part, we would move to phase two, where we already have all the systems, all the content, all the ads running smoothly, and we would get her from 18 to 25 Invisalign starts per month consistently, and that's how we would achieve the diamond status for Invisalign. So to recap, what we first did is we showed her realistic and achievable goals from that region. We told her what the Invisalign market currently is like in her region and what it requires to sell more. And then we showed her what numbers we would need to get to with Invisalign starts in order to get the diamond status and how much ad budget she would need for that. And this is something you can do on your own by looking at what agencies are helping your competitors and calling with them, asking them what the realistic results are and what they have achieved in the region in the past. You can also look at different reports on how much it costs to acquire a patient in your region, but also ChatGPT is pretty good with all of these questions as well, and it can
found this on the web.
And it can access different reports online for your region and let you know. If you like what we covered here today, you can follow me at MHUDAC on Instagram to learn more about how to grow your practice, or at futurepractice.com. Get in touch and we can help you with all of this. And I wish you the best of luck for 2026.